Today in crypto land, massive whale manipulation is almost certainly responsible for today's big market dip. I break down how exactly this likely happened. Localbitcoins makes a strong move against using cash on the platform, and a new Satoshi candidate has emerged. By the way, if you are new to crypto, or if you know someone who is kind of just getting into crypto, then make sure to check out my free educational course called Cryptocurrency Explained. You can go over to thecryptolark.org. I've got all of the videos hosted there. It covers everything from buying Bitcoin to understanding what Bitcoin and everything else in the crypto space is, setting up a ledger, all the way up to top tips for succeeding in investing in cryptocurrency. Now on to our first story of the day. Bitcoin whales are at it again, with a big Bitcoin whale dumping the market and making an absolute killing while doing it. Again. Thanks, guys. Now, using the exact same method that was pulled off just a few weeks ago, using a smaller amount of Bitcoin, 5,000 Bitcoin in that instance, over on Bitstamp. So, earlier today, a whale moved 25,160 Bitcoin, or around $213 million worth of Bitcoin, on to Coinbase. And that move was almost exactly time-wise connected to the big drop in the market that we did see today. Now, this dude filled up this particular wallet with 43,260 Bitcoin on March 1st, 2016, when Bitcoin was around $425. Now, the whale sold around half of that stack, or maybe not sold, but moved half of that stack off in early 2017, possibly selling some of it. If he did, he would have got his capital back. Rode it all the way up to $20,000, rode it back down without touching it. Of course, he could have got back his initial investment of $18 million if he did sell, but the blockchain doesn't seem to support that theory necessarily. But it could have been what happened. We don't know once it moves out of his wallet. Now, the $200 million today could have been all profit in his pocket. Damn, that'd be a good move if so. $200 million walking away. Except that the whale didn't spread the love around and cash out, putting more Bitcoin into more people's hands. Because 2 hours after this dip, 25,160 Bitcoin was moved out of Coinbase in 2 separate transactions. Craziness. Sell the Bitcoin, crash the market, rebuy at a lower price, take the fiat gains from that, withdraw the same amount of Bitcoin, and walk away laughing. Done. But actually, it's much more sneaky than this. This whale pulled the exact same trick we saw just a few weeks ago over on Bitstamp, where a whale went off and sold a bunch of Bitcoin, driving the price of Bitcoin down, which caused the longs on BitMEX to be liquidated. While undoubtedly, of course, shorting the market themselves over on BitMEX with massive leverage, because they knew the market was going to dip, because they're the ones who were going to do it. $108 million in longs were liquidated when this happened over on BitMEX. Then, of course, after sucking up the millions of dollars in profits from selling and then rebuying on Coinbase, artificially crashing the price over on BitMEX, benefiting from that short, you open up a long position, sit back and collect even more money. And then, of course, you still have all that Bitcoin, so you just wait to repeat this again. Now, how was all of this possible? Well, BitMEX's Bitcoin price index is actually made up of the average price of Bitcoin on Coinbase and Bitstamp. So if we see a big drop on either of these exchanges, that will cause the average price of Bitcoin to fall on BitMEX, which is an exact copy of the Bitstamp scenario that we did see just a few weeks ago. Man, this is crazy. When are we going to be free of this whale manipulation? They do it so easily and so brazenly. It's so obvious. to see this manipulation happening in plain sight. It's crazy. And the fact that BitMEX price index is made up of the average of the price on Coinbase and Bitstamp means that until BitMEX gets their crap together and actually addresses this issue, this is going to continue to happen. It's the second time it's happened. And it'll probably happen again. Now, should the CEO of BitMEX, Arthur Hayes, actually care about this? Kind of, sort of, but not really, because you know what? He gets paid big time when this happens. So where is his incentive to care? It seems that Bitstamp a few weeks ago was perhaps even just the test run for the bigger manipulation that we saw today and the bigger profits that were made today. Crazy times, guys. Now on to our next story. Localbitcoins, the ultimate enabler of peer-to-peer crypto trading, has cut off all cash sales with no warning. Now this is kind of unfortunate, but kind of unexpected at the same time with the increased anti-money laundering scrutiny, which has been brought forward thanks to new regulations, which were recently passed through in Finland, which is where Localbitcoins is based at. Remember too that Localbitcoins also disabled buying for customers in Iran recently. So they have to play ball, guys, if they're going to be registered in Finland, unfortunately. Peer-to-peer crypto exchanging just became a little less powerful thanks to this. However, other peer-to-peer platforms like Paxful took this opportunity to let everyone know that they had no such plans and that cash would remain very important on their platform. In other exchange news, the Binance DEX will be geo-blocking users from many different countries like Cuba and Iraq and Congo and Burma and Yemen and many others. But to be honest, my audience is not very big from those countries, so you may find yourself struggling to really care about that. But it is not just some small countries that for one reason or another find themselves on the global financial fringes, but also the United States of America, which will be excluded from using the Binance DEX website. Now, many, of course, will come out and say that, well, that means that Binance is definitely not a DEX, but simply a non-custodial exchange. And it is true. Binance is a non-custodial exchange. But we must also understand that the geoblock is for the website only. In that if you are a US-based customer or from any other country that's geo-blocked on that list, you will still be able to trade using any of the wallets that are coordinating with the Binance DEX. So you can still use it to trade should you so desire. Also, the Binance margin trading is going to be geo-restricted too, excluding Iran, North Korea, Syria, Cuba, Crimea, Canada, Japan, South Korea, and yes, the United States. Again. You could blame Binance for this, but to be honest, I think we can really thank US regulators for making things so difficult for crypto exchanges to work with US citizens. It's much easier for them just to exclude US citizens. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it works at the moment. Also, a reminder, guys, that margin trading is definitely an advanced service for experienced traders, in that you must be very careful when doing margin trading. I mean, just look at the first story. Look at the crazy manipulation that is going on in the markets. It's rampant, and you stand a good chance of losing big time. Doesn't matter how good your charting is or any of that stuff when this kind of manipulation is going on. Now, in other exchange news too, Bitfinex plans to launch Lightning Network support for Tether. Oh, Bitfinex, you guys, I tell you. Now, at least Tether should be stable now anyway, and backed 1-to-1 after Bitfinex raised $1 billion via their Leo IEO. But to be honest, I'm not really excited about anything Tether related, as Tether on Lightning is still Tether, and it still carries all of Tether's baggage along with it. And our final story today, a fascinating new candidate for Satoshi Nakamoto has emerged. Paul Salochi Calder-LaRue, a criminal mastermind, a drug smuggler, an arms dealer, and an informant for the DEA. Can't make this stuff up, guys. This is crazy. He's also a skilled cryptographer. Now, he shares many similarities to Satoshi from, of course, the similar sounding nickname Satoshi, to publishing a manifesto back in '98 describing something very similar to Bitcoin, to also using similar language to Satoshi Nakamoto. And he was even put in prison around the same time that Satoshi Nakamoto disappeared. Now, he is in prison currently for the assassination of 6 people. That's Satoshi, guys. Maybe. I don't know. Hard to say. Now, LaRue created something called E4M, which is an open source free Windows disk encryption software program. And he is also credited with creating something called TrueCrypt. Apparently, all of this has just come out in the Wright Kleiman case that has billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin hanging in the balance. It appears that Craig Wright may be in possession of the hard drives that contain Satoshi's million Bitcoin stash, which may ironically be encrypted with the TrueCrypt encryption that was made by LaRue. And that Wright, also came out here, that Wright may have been the snitch that got LaRue caught by the DEA. Crazy stuff, guys. Now, if Wright is indeed in possession of the hard drives, since he is speculated to have worked for LaRue, then if, and this is a big if, guys, if Wright is able to crack the encryption, then he will be able to claim the Satoshi coins, and he'll be able to prove that he is Satoshi, even if he isn't Satoshi. Well, the theory is certainly an interesting one. You have to keep in mind that back in 2009, when Satoshi was refining Bitcoin and doing all that fun stuff, LaRue was already establishing himself as a cartel boss and is known to have been drug smuggling and gun running and all sorts of other fun and exciting Hollywood-worthy stuff at the time, and yet somehow still found time to get Bitcoin up and running as, I guess, a hobby or a side project. Maybe he's just an awesome multitasker. All things to keep in consideration. Of course, all of this could just be yet another ruse by the Craig Wright legal team to try and show proof that he is Satoshi. And we have certainly seen all sorts of wild things being brought forward already in the Wright Kleiman legal case. This could just be the cherry on top, so to speak. Now, this is just the basics of it. There is a link down below to the article if you want to read some more about this story. Now, could this guy be Satoshi, actually? Sure. He has the means to do it. He had the skills to do it. And it matches a lot of things that fit with the Satoshi story. It would also be super fascinating if, in the end, Satoshi was a bad dude who did bad things. To be honest, I hope we never find out who Satoshi was, because it just messes it all up. It messes up the enigma of Bitcoin. But I want to ask you, do you think that this guy could be Satoshi? If he was Satoshi, would it be bad for Bitcoin? Would your opinion of Satoshi or of Bitcoin change if it wasn't just some mild-mannered programmer that wanted to give his gift to the world, but was actually some crazy cartel boss? Let me know what you think about it down below in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, you guys are supremely awesome, so thank you so much for watching today's video. You guys seriously rock. And if you did enjoy today's video, hit that thumbs up button. It helps to appease the Google and YouTube algorithm gods in a great way. And of course, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell if you want to know when I put out a new video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.